ridiculous how they say the same things. I mean, that's your mom, for God's sake. I can't. Oh, what's that? Show and tell, hi guys, I'm Judy, and today I'm going to be watching Fruits Basket Season 1, Episode 8. In the last episode, we met Hatori, and we heard his story, and we heard about a curse, and about the fact that maybe Tooru is expected to do something about the curse, but Shigure just told her to, not worry about it right now. With kind of emphasis, I mean, maybe not his emphasis, but emphasis for me on the right now, because eventually maybe she will. I mean, for sure, but okay. So that's how we left it though. So let's get into this episode. I'm pretty sure I know which one it is, but I don't remember how it goes exactly. So let's get into it. Don't want to spend your time alone? Check out my Patreon where I post reactions almost every day. You can get ahead on my Fruits Basket reactions. I'm currently on episode 22 and it's a lot of fun. And if you are fine with how things are, then I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to support the original content, and let's get into the video. Why do you have an arrow? It's sweet that we get to see her more with her friends. Yeah, she kind of doesn't let people know. Hana can sense it now, but she couldn't sense it when she was living in a tent and hiding it from them. Guess Tooru did an extra good job of covering it up all that time. Anyway, yeah. She keeps like a happy face on. Doesn't want to worry anyone, even when she's worried. Yeah, they're gonna be torn anyway. Yeah, she's really too happy. Exactly, and when she's not fine, she's she's smiling even more, Okay, yeah, they don't get that about her yet, I guess. Why did no one bring it up? Oh, they thought she was going to go with her grandfather. You're so much alike, it's so disturbing. Disturbing in a funny way, I guess. Did she realize that they were going to go then? Because in the other show, she doesn't realize it at all. So that's why she was so worried. Because she knew that they weren't going to be there. Anyway. I think. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe that's the part she didn't realize. It's ridiculous how they say the same things. so sad. She's just gonna be there. I don't even realize. That sounds like denial to me, dude.
久しぶりだな。ユキに会うの。この前あいつ部屋の窓開けっぱなしにしてたんだ。入った。昨日また階段で転んでたし、止まってる壁にさえぶつかってたぞ。あいつ絶対餅を喉に詰まらせるタイプだ。そういうシャレにならないことを言うなよ。一度帰ると決めたわけなんだから。別に心配なんざしてねえよ。バカバカしい。さっさと行こう。長官に乗ってたな。犯人捕まってないんだって。ダメだ。あいつは強盗を玄関から招き入れかねないほどのボケだ。松さえ座布団にお茶まで出し、その上強盗の身の上話まで聞きそうだな。
He kind of is.
こんなところで頭抱えてるとぶつかるわよ。今までお母様と一緒に過ごしてきたお正月が今年は一人きりなのね。一緒にいてあげるって私もアリサも言ったけれど、トール君は紅白も行く年来る年も箱根駅伝もお母様と一緒に見た思い出でいっぱいでしょうに。あの時どんな気持ちで見送った？本当にトール君はそれで平気なの？今どんな気持ちであの家に何やってんの
？Original anime time. I know no one asked for this, but I just really wanted to see that part of the original again.
そんなところでボサッと立っていると
ぶつかるわよ。今どんな気持ちであの家に。
何やってんの？
私は見てたわ。
だよてめえは。アキトがまた大騒ぎすんぞ。
立ち上がろうとした相馬京の頭と、
お前こそ愛しの神楽が待ってるぞ。
前に進もうとした相馬由紀の頬かっこ少し下が激突したという寸法よ。解説終わり。
This is not even that funny. It's really stupid, and I just love it.
おいおい君たちどこ行くんだい？
That's so stupid.
どこ行くんだい？
帰るんだ。
I'm sorry. This is just golden.
さきちゃんさ、もしかしてあの二人をあんな風にせっつくために現れ。
Well, you would know all about that, wouldn't you?
トール君のために何かしたかった。それだけ。そう。
She smiles
い
all
つだ
the
って
time.
笑ってる。
Especially when something
一
is
番欲
wrong.
しいと思う言葉をくれる。どうして気づかなかったんだろう。気づいてやれなかったんだろう。
Because you don't know to look for it yet, I guess. Exactly. I mean, they kind of knew, but...
帰りたい。帰りたい。今すぐ。
I can't. I can't. Oh, it's so sad. It's so, like, tragic.
これはなんと申しましょう。いけませんね。お正月というものはこう人を感情的にさせると言いますか。
I mean, you lost your mom, for God's sake.
もし気づかずにいたら
Made to realize.
一人で泣かせちまうところだった。ただいま。
おかえりなさい。
やあ、はーくん、はーさん、お出迎えありがとう。
Hakun Hasan, really?
呼び方をするな。いちいち堅苦しいこと。京都ゆきは。ああ、なんというかまあぶっちゃけた話。サボり？サボり？俺だって辛いもんがある。逃げ出
Okay,
した
yeah,
く
we're
もある。
really introducing.
いやいや、今回あの二人は逃げたかったわけではないと思いますよ。
サボったこと？何？誰か宴サボるの？
Skipping the banquet. Kyou is even invited to the banquet.
こんばんは。とりあえずいいざまだな、アキト。
Jesus, Shigure.
もっとゆっくり食え。
別にそんなに急いで食べているわけでは。
Because of the mochi.
お餅はゆっくり食べた方がいいよ。くれぐれも置いてかんでね。
相馬くんまでどなたでしょう。こんな時間に。
Why is it natural that she answers all the phones
ったく
for them?
非常識な野郎だぜ。
Like, why didn't you ever go to pick up a phone?
もしかしてお餅を喉に詰まらせたとか。
Why would you call you for
じ
that?
ゃねえんだぞ。それに餅詰まらせてたら電話かけれねえじゃねえか。ただお前は寂しくしてねえかなと思ってよ。
So sweet, they're friends, really.
まあな。こら親父、今日は特別に一杯だけって約束だったろ。
ああ、見つかっちゃったよ。
ちょっとよじゃねえ、可愛ぶるな。
I get that they're doing everything together.
彼女も本田さんのことをすごく心配してて。
そうだったんですか。花ちゃん、年が明けたら一番にお電話しますね。
待ってるわ。
花ちゃん、今年一番にお電話しますね。待ってるわ。
I promise this is the last one. I just love here how Tooru has a reaction to Hana, you know, hearing her talk about this. It's like, you know, an entire telepathic conversation that we're having here. I just love it.
ご迷惑をおかけしているのでは。
平気だよ。三が日のうちに挨拶はしに行くから。多分。
It's so dangerous to be on the roof, I feel like.
お二人ともお願い事は決めましたか。私はバッチリです。
本音は一緒に正月を迎えたかっただけなのかもしれないな。
今年もよろしくお願いします。
こちらこそよろしく。おお。
They're so cute.
はいはい、叶うといいな。
So cute. Okay, sweet. And we do get to you know, see a little bit more about the Sohma family itself, like Akito and Shigure kind of being kind of cryptic and weird and creepy. And we get the first look of Hatsuharu. You know, and he actually like says like, oh, I wanted to fight them. I also want to run away and stuff like that. Like you get kind of, I mean, it's kind of general, but you get like a sense of, okay, this new character that has some trauma for himself too. Yeah, I like this episode. It's really sweet that they, you know, choose her over their family, but I mean, their family's fucked up, so I know, not all of them are. I mean, no, kind of all of them are. But because of a certain person, or like because of the curse, I guess, for the most part. I think that they have like a very big family, more or less. Like it's a gathering of everyone. Whereas Uno and Hana, Uo and Hana have like really small families. So they, like them leaving their families to be with Tooru is, I think, maybe a little more noticeable, I guess. It's more like a Uo's dad would be alone, basically, for instance. And Hana's family is like small too. They were becoming her family, like they were living together in the same house. So it made sense that they would go back to be with her during this like first holiday to really kind of cement that they're together as a family in some way and not let her be alone. It's so sad, you know, to think about it. Like you know that she lost her mom, and we touch upon it every now and then. Obviously, more like every episode, but sure. But it's I guess kind of authentic that you think about it, especially like it hits you the hardest when it's like a holiday when people spend it with their families and then you don't have a family, especially if like you have no one, like you were left with no one. Like that's so heartbreaking. To think that you just like she was just going to spend that holiday alone is devastating. Yeah, I guess they really should have thought of that. But again, the thing is that she doesn't let you think about it. The thing is that she makes you, like she was the one who kind of convinced them when they first didn't want to go. She convinced them to go because she was talking about how you know, how important it was to see her family and spend the holidays with them, and I mean that made them realize that, oh shit, right, she doesn't have a family, we have to do it because, you know, we have to like respect her, kind of like she's talking from the heart here, like we have to respect that. And they didn't think about what that means, you know, in terms of like, oh, she's not gonna have anyone. She doesn't have a family. Like, I mean, it makes sense because she makes you think about these things. She makes it about you and what you should feel, like what, not what you should feel, but like how important it is if you went, you know, to see your family. Like, she doesn't make it about herself, so you don't realize, you know, the implications. And I mean, it's kind of like a tactic that she uses. I mean, that makes it sound very deliberate. I don't think it's deliberate.
Or is it? I mean, no, I don't think it's deliberate, but I think it's a subconscious thing that she resorts to as a coping mechanism.
But it's just like how she acts. It's just how she goes about things. Like, she immediately thinks about others and not about herself, and she wants to think about others and not about herself, so she like automatically kind of subverts the conversation to be about others, you know. And you have to kind of realize, you have to have some kind of realization of, wait, what is going on with her, you know? Like, her friends have known her for a very long time, so they know this habit already, and they could, you know, sense it, I guess, which is, yeah, it again makes me wonder why they couldn't sense it before. But I mean, I guess back then when she was living in a tent and stuff, everything was kind of in a turmoil still, a little bit maybe, so they were like, okay. I mean, Hana was like, I guess it makes sense. I mean, she living with her grandfather now, and it's like, whatever, and I don't know, she just lost her mom. I don't know.
I think maybe I can explain this to myself by thinking that, okay, like when she was living in a tent, Tooru kind of knew it was this thing. Like, it was a conscious decision that she made, and she knew she had to hide it from them. Whereas here, I feel like, you know, this kind of like the New Year's, maybe she didn't really think about the New Year's. Maybe she didn't want to think about a holiday that she would have to kind of spend by herself. And she also didn't know that her grandfather wouldn't be there, that she would have to spend it by herself. So it makes sense that she was, I guess, kind of taken by surprise and didn't have the time to hide her feelings as well, I guess.
Tor has a thing where she will become even more happy to kind of cover up when she's not. You know, because she's usually smiling, she's usually kind, she's usually sweet, you know? But then I think she has like this, like, to cover up the insecurity, she becomes even more that. More, you know, thinking about others, more, like, even more smiling and stuff, and just to not let people see that she's worried or afraid or something. She has a really hard problem of kind of relying on others and asking others for help. Like, we've seen this before, and it's still definitely a thing. Like, she wants to be there for others, but she has a hard time asking others to be there for her. Like, she thinks it's selfish or something. So her friends like could tell, like, before we had Uo and Hana come to their house, you know, to visit, and then they were talking about how they didn't notice, and they were kind of, you know, having a hard time with themselves. And Yuki and Kyou could kind of tell them, no, Tori's not that kind of girl. She just, you know, she didn't think about it that way. She didn't want to burden you, I guess, or something. I guess it goes both ways. Like, sometimes when you know someone very well, there are certain things that, you know, you know them and you see them so often that maybe you don't see them, and then someone with an outside perspective can kind of point them out, and then you're like, right, you're right, you know? And you don't, like, you're too close to kind of be able to take a look, like, to take a step back and look at it, you know?
Also, then it was very personal. It was something that they felt was wrong with how they acted, and it was also something that they couldn't do anything about because, like, it already happened and they already failed her. So I feel it made them feel like very helpless, and they kind of needed someone from the outside to point out, oh, Tooru is, like, she wouldn't blame you for something like that, you know, she's not that kind of person.
And here I think they know her well enough, especially after what happened. I feel like they're like kind of hyper aware maybe of how Toru acts and stuff. So it makes sense here, I guess, that they were the ones to, I mean, Hana mostly was the one to tell Yuki and Kyou, like, you should go back, you know, she needs you. Not she needs you, she didn't say that. She just said, like, you know, I want her to be happy. I'm just worried about her. I want her to be happy, so I'm going to do this for her. They're sweet, her friends. As weird as they are. The whole thing with Yuki and Kyou, I mean, it just makes me cringe so hard when they do the exact same thing. You know, when they talk at the same time or think the same thing at the same time, you know, or like kind of finish each other's sentences in their heads anyway. I mean, I realize that it's kind of the effect of the show to show how, you know, different they are, but how much Tori is affecting them in kind of the same way. But still, it's so ridiculous sometimes. It's like, why are you thinking the same things at the same time? Stop it. Anyway, like, Tori's definitely just affecting them. Like it's equal at this point, that they're just like, both are like equally affected by her in this way.
Okay, sure. It is a little bit cringe. I do get what I'm saying here. But I think, like, I've come to think about it, and I think, especially in this episode, it comes to show us, you know, that, yeah, we usually think of Yuki and Kyou as complete opposites to each other, but we also know that they have, like, a lot of the same thought processes when it comes to, you know, their inner thoughts and their insecurities. And the thing is that Toru was the one who kind of got it out of them. Like, she's the one who knows how similar in a way they are to each other. And so it makes a lot of sense. And in this episode, we see how in tune they are when it comes to Toru, because she's the one who brings them together. So yeah, it does work. I do like it. And it's just funny, I guess. It's just funny.
And I kind of love, you know, to see, I guess, to spot kind of the differences between them, but it's ridiculous sometimes. It's like, you know, each of them kind of gets a turn to think his thing. Like, for instance, when they were thinking about Kagura and Akito, it's like, okay, they think the exact same thing, you know? It's like too deliberate. It's like too in your face kind of, you know, it's kind of too rehearsed in a way. Like, each of them thinks this, you know? Both of them are doing this. It's funny, and they like kind of ignoring the fact that both of them I don't know, they start running at the same time, they collapse at the same time. I don't know, it's funny too. But then I also love, you know, especially the moments when they're kind of like, I guess it's kind of the same, but like we clearly see like the difference. Like, for instance, when Toru turned around on the roof to them and would like wish them a happy new year, and Yuki was able to say like, yeah, to you too, blah blah blah, and Kyou was just like, yeah, and then turned away. Like, that was sweet. I love it when they, you know, react kind of naturally to who they are, and it's different, and you can tell like the difference between them by the way they react. Anyway, this is an enjoyable episode, and it's sweet, and it definitely like forms this bond between them. Like, the bond becomes stronger. They start understanding her better, to understand that she hides her pain, like how far she would go to hide her pain. It's not even like even a deliberate thing. It's just kind of a natural thing for her to do. Like, that's just how she does things, and they need to kind of think the extra step to kind of make sure that they think of her in kind of the same amount that she thinks about them. You know, like worries about things for them and stuff. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Special thanks to my top Patreons, Redding Tier, Andy Plays All Night, Stone Tree, Tyranor, and Michael Gabriel. And to the rest of my amazing Patreons, without whose support I would never be able to do any of this. Thank you so much.